All right, everybody, let's take a look at a huge, monstrous day in the stock market. Oh, wow. Wow. Stick around for the end of the video. I'll tell you whether or not I made any profits or losses today. Upper left-hand corner, September 14th. This is a little bit after the futures market closed at 4:01 Central Standard Time here in Texas. We're looking at the E-mini S&P 500 futures for December 21 contracts. I trade the E-micros, just so you know. Middle of the screen, upper part of the screen, look at that candlestick. Now, I mentioned a couple days ago, I think it was, I said big red candlesticks still to come. Well, there you go. Here they come. And today was a pretty decent day. You can see there the range. Maybe you can't read it in the screenshot, but I'll tell you 54.25 points. That's a pretty significant range today. You can guess what I'm going to say to all you about tomorrow, right? Yeah. More red to come, at least through September 17th. Today's the 14th. We got 2 or 3 more days minimum, I believe, of some downward price action, and the candlesticks could get bigger. But this is plenty big enough for me already. Look below that, we'll look at the Stochastic Momentum Index. After yesterday's little green blip, I said yesterday, if you, for you guys and gals out there, that you think that this is going to be rebound, not yet, it ain't. That little green candlestick, I knew that was nothing. Momentum's still pointing down now. Big Daddy forecast says tomorrow is going to be down. The VIX Friday was 20.95, which that was a huge day of volatility on Friday. And then the VIX yesterday was 19.37 because of that little green up day. And then the VIX today, once again, a little more volatility, 19.46. So it picked up a little bit more volatility. I expect more to come as far as price action going down. That's really high chance, in my opinion, that the price actions can continue to go down. Monster day. Monster day. Now, before I get to whether or not I made a profit or loss, I want to move on to something I'm going to show you all here. Here's my profit loss so far for the month of September. And I'm not showing this to be arrogant or to brag. Hey, this guy thinks he's all that because he makes a lot of money. No, it's got nothing to do with that. Okay? Some people I know out there, I don't know them personally, but I know there's some people out there making 10 times as much. And some people making a lot less. Okay, the reason I'm showing this, two reasons. One, I want you all to be encouraged, and I mean that sincerely. You can do it. The stock market is not gambling. Some people say it is. I totally disagree with that. On this YouTube channel, we predict and forecast what the market's going to do. We wait for confirmation that it does that, then we take a small position. If it continues to move in the direction that we predict it was going to move in, we increase the position, and we lock in our profits as a trailing stop. If we get it wrong, we have our stop loss to stop out at a small loss and move on to the next trade. That's how we do it here. So this screenshot's not about me trying to be arrogant or boastful or none of that. It's to encourage you guys and gals out there, you can do it. Okay? Forget about price. I almost never talk about price. I rarely talk about price on this YouTube channel. You almost never hear me talk about the stock market price is going to do this. I don't talk about that. I mean, rarely, occasionally. I don't trade like that. And neither should you, in my humble opinion. Forget the price. Now, why do I have 3 yellow mustard colored days, the 2nd of September, the 3rd, and the 6th? Those were days I was holding positions and they were running at a loss. So the number 2 reason why I'm showing this is because it's a good idea to stop once or twice a month, maybe even weekly if you want to, and reflect on where you can improve in your trading. And those days right there stand out as huge to me. Those are days I need to look at what was I doing on those days. Why were these days not profitable? You know, there could be a day in there that's just a really small day and you're not turning a profit, but I shouldn't have been holding a position. And these 3 days I was holding a position. So it's a really good idea to stop, be honest with yourself. That's what I'm doing here. I go back, I'm going to look at these days and say, okay, because these days should have been profitable days. They shouldn't have been days where I was holding positions and they were running at a loss, which is what they were. Now, I didn't close them, so they're not red days, and I had to wait till September 7th from them to make good. I don't like trading like that. That's a bad way to trade. It's a bad idea. I should have cut those days, should have cut those losses, cut them loose. I always say in this channel, cut your losses loose when they're small. So I need to listen to my own advice, because those days right there should have been profitable days. Or bare minimum, I shouldn't have been holding no positions at all. So I know there's room for improvement in my trading. Okay, so I want you all to be encouraged. This screenshot's about encouraging you. Yes, it can be done. It's not gambling. Trading can be profitable. And 2, it's a good idea, in my opinion, to reflect once a week or once a month, or I'm going to do it like, maybe twice a month here, on where you could improve in your trading. So that's what that screenshot's about right there, okay? All right, let's take a look at, did I have a profit loss? This is the first screenshot of a few I'm going to show you. This was this morning, about 20 minutes after the market opened. Okay, you can see in the far right there, I pretty much closed the position on 12 contracts. And I had, I think, 1 contract overnight. I learned my lesson to not hold a bunch of contracts overnight. Okay, not because I think the market can jump and move violently, which it can. There's other reasons I won't get into right now. But anyway, I added 11 more contracts this morning and eventually closed them at, you can see there, a profit of $255.75. Nice little trade. Nice tasty trade, as they say. Let's look at the next screenshot here. This about 40 or 50 minutes later, whatever it was. At this point, I had about 36 contracts traded. I was up $510.75. You can see on the far right there. Pretty nice. Day's going good. You can see the candlestick on the far upper right hand corner, kind of the middle of the screen there, I should say. That candlestick's looking flush. Flush full of down, flush full of red. Okay. Let's look at the next one. So this is at 1:18 upper left-hand corner, kind of getting, a little bit late in the day. That'd be 2:18 East Coast time, United States. Same futures product. Far right-hand side, you can see $943.25. Huge day. Huge. There were some things I noticed about myself today that I could have done better. Remember that last when I showed the spreadsheet about how I can improve? Well, I noticed something about my trading today that I could have done better. I learned some lessons from last week and from yesterday in a down market where I picked up on some things I could do better. So this could have been bigger. But I'm not beating myself up. This is a really awesome day. But I realized some habits in there that I need to break. And those are the things you want to pay attention to your own trading. Pay attention to your habits. Trying to, for myself, improving on when the market's near a daily low, or the market will have an impulse. Okay, it's kind of hard to explain to new traders, but market, even throughout the day, will have an impulse, and even sometimes overnight. The market will have an impulse, and knowing how to read those impulses is vital to profit taking. So I noticed that sometimes when the market's got a downward impulse, sometimes I'm closing positions for nice profit, but I'm getting right back in, and that's a mistake. Now, it may not always be a mistake. Like later in the year, if we get some huge monster days where I call it when the bottom drops out, like late 2018. If you want to go look at an amazing trading time in the S&P 500, go look at September, October of 2018, all the way through Christmas Eve. That's what we call a market. The bottom dropped out on the market. And that could happen this year. It might. I don't know. We'll see. But I know some few little things about me and my behaviors that need to change and I could be even more profitable. Okay, so that's my profit loss for today. Really awesome day. Oh my gosh, what a huge day. Such a happy camper about today. Happy camper. I'm blessed. I give God thanks. I used to be a horrible trader. Horrible. I should bring in a friend of mine that he knows about. He knows about how horrible of a trader I was, and he probably, maybe he's listening to this video, maybe or not, but if he does, text me. Maybe I'll have you come in, we'll do a little interview. And he can testify and tell you about, yeah, had some nasty trades. But I try to stay away from that kind of trading nowadays. I try to get that, so I don't do that old stuff. I don't trade like that anymore. Thank God. Okay, let's go back just real quick. I'm going to finish up this video. There's no reason to keep these videos too long. Back over to the S&P 500 here. More red to come. Big red candlesticks. More to come, at least through the 17th. Why? Because the 17th, if you don't already know, perhaps you're new to the YouTube channel, welcome. I know we got people that watch this channel from Europe, England, and Ireland, and Germany. Maybe you happen to be from a nation in the continent of Africa. Welcome. Maybe you're coming from, I don't know, Japan. Many nations out of the continent of South America, the Caribbean, in the South Atlantic. Okay, maybe the Pacific Islands, Australia. Welcome. Okay. More big red candlesticks to come. At least to the 17th. Because why? Because the 17th of this month is a big day. Only happens 4 times a year. They call it triple witching, quadruple witching, but let me tell you what that really means. That means you got stock options are going to expire. It's the last trading day for stock options. Stock index or index options, which is huge, that's also the last day they can trade for September. Okay? Also futures, which is what I normally trade. The September contract will expire on the same day, September 17th. Okay? And there's some other influences in there. So some of you may be asking, since we're trading the December contracts, upper left-hand corner there as I finish up this video, you see it says S&P 500, and again, I trade the E-micro, not the E-minis, but it doesn't really matter. You'll see it says December 21. So why would September contracts, why should we be concerned about it? Because it still influences the market as a whole, guys. There's weekly options involved. It's a very fluid and dynamic environment. It's not as simple as you think it is. Okay, those September contracts expiring influence the December contracts pricing. It just does. I won't dive too deep into why it does that, but it does. There's a lot at play. Okay, and what are we doing? We're taking advantage of it. Now on this channel, I've already said, I'm going to say it again, we forecast and predict the market, and then we wait for confirmation to see if it's going to happen. Can I always predict in the market? Do I always forecast it accurately? No, that's not true. And I won't even pretend that that's true, because it's not. But when it is true, when I have high confidence that we can predict the market, and that does happen sometimes, right? When there's high confidence that the forecasting and prediction is accurate, then we're going to pour it on, right? Why not? Pour it on. That's when we make the big bucks. Okay? And we want a healthy, just sharing with all of you, from me personally. I don't give financial advice. This is all educational, okay? But for me personally, I want a healthy perspective on money. I don't love the money, guys and gals. I'm not looking to go buy 5 Ferraris and 2 mansions and la 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 la. I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money, but I don't live my life that way. Okay? I prefer to be a little more humble. I prefer to be responsible with the money. Even if I'm a multi-millionaire, that's never going to change. I don't need 5 Ferraris. They're nice. And I don't need 2 mansions. They're nice, but I don't need them. So, I'm trying to convey what is a healthy, accurate way to view money. Don't love it. Just make good use of it from A to B. You can't, there's an old saying. Okay? You can't take it with you. You can't take it with you. When you get into the coffin, you can't take this world with you. It doesn't work like that. The Egyptians tried. They failed. All right, let me wrap this thing up. What do I think is going to happen tomorrow? More red. More red. I don't talk about price because it doesn't matter. If you didn't watch my video from yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I'll put a link in the description for the last 2 days. In there, I put in percentages of the past Septembers for the last umpteen years and the horrible history of September. Or I should say that it's not horrible, it's just down. I don't view down as horrible, but a lot of people do, so that's why I put it in the titles to, so people can relate, okay? More down tomorrow. I expect more red candlestick tomorrow. Okay? I'm not going to dive too deep into exactly how I'm going to trade that tomorrow. I know what I'm going to do. You've got to figure out what you're going to do. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, click the subscribe button. On this channel, we show profits and losses. Yes, I show losses when I take them. All those other people putting out YouTube videos, I'm not going to badmouth them, not going to pick out any names, but I almost never see them talk about profit and losses. They all apparently are gurus, and they got their charts, and they got their little, excuse me, they got their sections drawn out, but you never see them show any positions. They never show their profits, and they almost never show their losses, so I don't know what's up with that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And if you don't mind, click that little bell to be notified as I put the videos out. Hope you're all enjoying it. We'll talk to you all soon again next time.